Ladies and gentlemen, life has a funny way of teaching us the value of our worth. Each of us was born with a purpose, with a light inside that's meant to shine. But too often we find ourselves standing in rooms where that light is dimmed. Too often we stay where our value is ignored, where our presence is taken for granted, and where our contributions are overlooked. Now let me tell you something real. You can't grow in the shadow of disrespect. You can't rise when the people around you are too busy pulling you down or too blind to see what you bring to the table. And let me tell you, staying where you're not appreciated, that's not loyalty, it's self-sabotage. Knowing your worth is one of the most profound lessons you can learn in life. It is not about arrogance or entitlement. It's about self-respect and understanding the value you bring to every situation. It's about realizing that you don't need to settle for less than what you deserve simply to keep the peace or to be accepted by others. Yet this understanding doesn't come easy. It requires deep reflection, courage, and a commitment to honor yourself. Your worth is not determined by the opinions of others. Society often conditions us to seek validation from external sources, a job title, social media likes, or the approval of family and friends. But these are fleeting and unstable measures. People's opinions of you can change on a whim, and external achievements are temporary. What truly defines your worth is your character, your values, and your unique qualities. It is about the kindness you show to others, the resilience you exhibit in tough times, and the authenticity you bring to every interaction. Many people struggle to know their worth because they have been in environments that diminished their value. Whether it's a toxic workplace, an unhealthy relationship, or negative self-talk, these influences can make you doubt yourself. You might start believing that you're not good enough, or that you have to work extra hard to earn love and respect. These false narratives can be deeply ingrained, but they are not truths. They are simply stories that need to be rewritten. Reclaiming your worth starts with self-awareness. It means taking a step back and assessing how you feel in your current relationships, career, and daily life. Are you being treated with respect? Are your contributions recognized? Are you happy with the direction your life is taking? These questions can be uncomfortable, but they are necessary. They help you identify the areas where you may be settling for less than you deserve. When you know your worth, you set boundaries that protect your peace and well-being. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They are guidelines to teach others how to treat you. For example, if someone consistently disrespects your time or belittles your efforts, knowing your worth empowers you to address the issue or distance yourself from that relationship. It's not about confrontation, it's about self-preservation. Your time, energy, and mental health are precious, and they should be invested in people and situations that uplift you. Knowing your worth also allows you to walk away from opportunities that aren't aligned with your values. It's tempting to accept any offer that comes your way out of fear or scarcity, but settling often leads to dissatisfaction. This understanding of your worth transforms the way you approach life. You start making choices that reflect your self-respect, whether it's pursuing a career that fulfills you, surrounding yourself with supportive people, or taking care of your physical and mental health. You stop chasing validation and start living authentically. And when you live authentically, you attract people and opportunities that are aligned with your true self. The journey to knowing your worth isn't always easy. There will be moments of doubt, setbacks, and challenges. You may have to let go of relationships, jobs, or habits that no longer serve you. This process can be painful, but it is also liberating. Each step you take toward valuing yourself is a step toward a more fulfilling life. One of the most important things to remember is that knowing your worth is not a destination. It's a lifelong practice. The world benefits when you know your worth. You are worthy of respect, love, and success, not because of what you do or what you have, but because of who you are. When you truly understand this, you unlock a life of greater peace, fulfillment, and joy. Staying in unappreciative spaces whether they be relationships, workplaces, or social circles, slowly erodes your sense of self-worth and potential. It's easy to become comfortable in these environments, especially when you're used to them or feel obligated to stay. But the longer you remain in a space that doesn't recognize or value you, the more you sacrifice your own happiness, growth, and well-being. The invisible weight of being unappreciated can diminish your confidence, rob you of your energy, and hold you back from living a fulfilling life. We all have a natural desire to feel seen and valued. It's part of the human experience to seek validation, to want to know that our efforts matter and that we are contributing something meaningful. When you're in an unappreciative space, however, that desire is continuously unmet. You give, you try, and you sacrifice, but the recognition, respect, and gratitude you deserve is nowhere to be found. Over time, this lack of appreciation can leave you feeling invisible, unimportant, and unfulfilled. At first, you may try to convince yourself that it's okay. You may tell yourself that the lack of appreciation is temporary, that things will improve, or that it's just part of the process. But eventually, the emotional toll begins to add up. You start to feel drained, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. Your worth, which once seemed clear and solid, starts to blur. You begin to question whether you're doing enough, whether you're worthy of the appreciation you long for, or whether you even deserve to ask for it. When you stay in a place where you're not valued, you compromise your sense of self. It's not just about the lack of praise or recognition. It's about how you start to internalize that lack of appreciation. You start to doubt your abilities, your talents, and your contributions. You might even begin to feel like you don't have the power to change the situation. The longer you stay, the more you become entrenched in that mindset. Furthermore, staying in unappreciative spaces often means you're not setting healthy boundaries for yourself. You may continue to tolerate behavior or conditions that undermine your mental and emotional health simply because you don't want to rock the boat or seem ungrateful. This can lead to resentment, frustration, and ultimately burnout. You might feel trapped, like you're giving everything you've got but not receiving what you truly need in return. And as much as you want to keep giving, the imbalance becomes unsustainable. On a deeper level, staying in unappreciated spaces can cause you to lose sight of your own value and aspirations. When you are surrounded by people or circumstances that don't uplift you, you may start to diminish your own worth to fit in. You might begin to think that the only way to get by is to settle, to accept less, or to stay silent about your needs. Over time, this can result in you stifling your own potential. You stop pursuing the things that excite you, the goals that challenge you, and the relationships that empower you. The longer you remain, the harder it becomes to break free and reclaim what you truly deserve. It's also important to recognize that staying in such spaces doesn't just affect you, it can affect your relationships with others. When you're not appreciated in a particular environment, you can start to bring that frustration and resentment into your other interactions. The negativity and dissatisfaction you feel in one area of your life can spill over into others, creating tension and stress. This can ultimately isolate you as you become increasingly withdrawn or cynical about the world around you. Leaving an unappreciated space is not an easy decision, and it's natural to feel conflicted about walking away. We often fear the unknown, worry about disappointing others, or feel guilty for wanting more. But the truth is that staying where you're not valued is far more damaging in the long run. It holds you back from reaching your full potential and prevents you from pursuing the life you are meant to live. When you leave an unappreciated space, you make room for something better. You open yourself up to environments where you are seen, heard, and respected. And even if it takes time to find those spaces, choosing to walk away is an act of self-preservation and self-respect. It's saying, I deserve more than this. And when you walk away, you start creating a life where your needs are met, where you are appreciated, and where you can thrive. The longer you stay in a place where you're not appreciated, the more you delay your growth. It's only when you step away from these spaces that you can truly start to reclaim your worth, align with your values, and open up the possibilities for a brighter, more fulfilling future. Your life is too precious to spend it in places that don't honor who you are. Walking away is often misunderstood. In a world that values perseverance and fighting through adversity, the idea of leaving something behind can be seen as a sign of weakness, as though it's an act of giving up or surrendering. But in reality, walking away is a powerful display of strength, a courageous decision that requires self-awareness, self-respect, and an unwavering commitment to your well-being. It's about knowing when to let go and when to step away from situations that no longer serve you, even if those situations are familiar, comfortable, or seemingly essential. Strength is not always about holding on or pushing through. It's also about knowing when to step back, assess the situation, and make the bold decision to walk away. In life, we often face situations where staying may feel easier because of fear, guilt, or uncertainty, but continuing to stay in environments or relationships that drain us, diminish us, or hold us back from our potential is not a sign of strength. It's a form of self-sabotage. Walking away, on the other hand, is an acknowledgement of your worth and your power to create the life you deserve. It takes strength to walk away from a job where you're underappreciated, where your skills and contributions are ignored, or where the work environment is toxic. It's easy to convince yourself that you need the job or that you're not capable of finding something better, but in reality, staying in such an environment only chips away at your confidence, your passion, and your overall happiness. Walking away, although difficult, is the first step toward finding a more fulfilling career, one that respects your talents and allows you to grow. It's a decision to stop settling for less and to take charge of your future. In relationships, walking away can be even more challenging, especially when emotional attachment and history are involved. But sometimes, staying in a relationship where you're not valued or where the dynamics are unhealthy can be more damaging than the act of leaving. Whether it's a friendship, a romantic relationship, or a family connection, walking away from someone who doesn't respect you, support you, or treat you with kindness is not weakness. It's self-preservation. It's a refusal to tolerate behavior that diminishes your self-worth. People may try to convince you that leaving is selfish, that you should put up with the dysfunction, or that love means enduring hardship. Another aspect of walking away as strength lies in the ability to confront fear. Fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of being alone. These are all real emotions that hold people back from making the decision to walk away. But what we often forget is that it is fear itself that keeps us stuck. Fear keeps us trapped in relationships that drain us, careers that limit us, and situations that don't align with our true purpose. Walking away takes immense courage because it means facing that fear head on, accepting that the discomfort of change is often far less painful than staying in a situation that stifles your potential. Walking away is also a sign of self-respect. You are setting a boundary not out of anger, but out of love for yourself. It's an affirmation that you will not accept less than what you know you deserve. And that is a strength that comes from within. Sometimes walking away doesn't mean you're leaving forever. It can be about taking a step back to reassess and regroup. It's about knowing that you're not obligated to stay in situations that aren't working for you just because it's expected. The strength to walk away can sometimes be the strength to return to a situation later, but on your own terms, armed with new boundaries and a renewed sense of self. There is also a form of emotional intelligence in knowing when to walk away. It takes wisdom to realize when something has run its course, when efforts have been exhausted, or when further engagement will only lead to more harm than good. Walking away requires the ability to let go of what no longer serves you, even if it's difficult to do so. This kind of emotional maturity allows you to make decisions based on what's best for you, not on what's easiest or most comfortable. Ultimately, walking away is about taking control of your life and your happiness. It's about choosing not to let circumstances or people dictate your path. Every time you walk away from something that doesn't serve you, you're choosing a future that aligned with your true self. It takes strength to let go of what holds you back. But in doing so, you create the space for what is meant for you to come into your life. So remember, walking away is not a sign of weakness. It's a testament to your strength. It's a choice to honor yourself, to protect your peace, and to create a life that reflects your true value. Creating space for what you deserve is one of the most transformative actions you can take in your life. It's not just about physical space, but emotional, mental, and spiritual space that allows you to grow, evolve, and manifest the life you truly desire. Too often, we fill our lives with things, people, and situations that drain us or no longer align with who we are becoming. We hold on to relationships, careers, and habits that are familiar, even if they don't bring us happiness or fulfillment. But in order to invite the things you truly deserve, whether it's love, success, peace, or happiness, you must first make room for them. This means releasing what no longer serves you, even if it's difficult, and having the courage to create the space for new opportunities and experiences to flow into your life. Creating space for what you deserve starts with an honest assessment of your life. It requires a deep look at the people, places, and things you are currently surrounded by. Are they helping you grow, or are they holding you back? Are they supporting you, or are they draining you? Sometimes we become so accustomed to certain situations or relationships that we don't realize how much they are weighing us down. So the first step is to identify what needs to go. This may mean ending toxic relationships, leaving a job that no longer excites you, or eliminating habits that are sabotaging your health or peace of mind. The process of letting go can be uncomfortable, even painful, but it's essential for making space for what you truly deserve. Releasing the old makes room for the new. By creating space, you can reconnect with your inner voice. Creating space for what you deserve also involves setting boundaries. Boundaries are not about building walls to keep people out. They are about protecting your energy and ensuring that you are only engaging with people, situations, and commitments that are aligned with your values. Too often, we say yes to things out of guilt, fear, or a desire to please others. But by constantly overcommitting or neglecting our own needs, we make it impossible to create space for what truly nourishes us. Setting boundaries is about saying no to what drains you so that you can say yes to what uplifts and supports you. It's about choosing yourself, your time, and your energy over the demands or expectations of others. When you create space for what you deserve, you also begin to make room for growth. The fear of change and the unknown often hold us back from pursuing the things we truly want. We hold on to the comfort of familiarity, even if it's no longer serving us, because stepping into something new feels uncertain and risky. But the truth is that growth never happens in your comfort zone. In order to reach your full potential, you must be willing to step into the unknown, take risks, and face your fears. Creating space allows you to take those leaps of faith, knowing that you are making room for new opportunities, new experiences, and new possibilities. By releasing the old, you open yourself up to personal transformation and the chance to grow. Part of creating space is also about shifting your mindset. You have to believe that you deserve better, that you are worthy of the life you desire. Too often, people stay stuck in unhealthy patterns because they don't believe they are worthy of something better. They think they don't deserve happiness, success, or love. But the reality is that you are worthy of all of these things and more. Creating space for what you deserve starts with a mindset shift, a belief that you are deserving of abundance, peace, and joy. This shift will empower you to take bold actions, make difficult decisions, and embrace the opportunities that come your way. It's also important to recognize that creating space for what you deserve doesn't happen overnight. It's a continuous process of decluttering your life, letting go of what no longer serves you, and making intentional choices that align with your goals and values. There may be setbacks along the way, and there may be moments when you feel tempted to return to old habits but the more you commit to creating space, the more you will begin to see the positive changes manifest in your life. With each step you take to prioritize your needs and desires, you will begin to attract the people, experiences, and opportunities that are in alignment with your highest good. Creating space for what you deserve is not just about eliminating what doesn't serve you. It's about actively making room for what does. It's about consciously choosing the people, the experiences, and the opportunities that will help you grow, thrive, and live authentically. When you create space for what you deserve, you're not just letting go of the old, you're opening the door to the new. And as you step into this new space, you will find that your life begins to shift in powerful and unexpected ways. The things you've always dreamed of, whether it's love, success, peace, or happiness, will begin to find their way to you because you have made room for them. Self-love is often seen as a buzzword, something that's talked about but not always fully understood or practiced. At its core, self-love is about accepting yourself for who you are, treating yourself with kindness, and prioritizing your well-being. It is the foundation for all healthy relationships, starting with the one you have with yourself. Without self-love, it's difficult to fully love others, set healthy boundaries, or live authentically. Self-love is not about being self-centered or narcissistic. It's about honoring your own needs, respecting your own boundaries, and recognizing your intrinsic worth. The importance of self-love lies in its ability to create. This doesn't mean you won't experience challenges or moments of doubt. One of the most important aspects of self-love is self-acceptance. It means embracing your flaws, quirks, and imperfections without judgment. So often, people feel they have to be perfect to be worthy of love, or they may spend their lives trying to change themselves to meet society's unrealistic expectations. But true self-love comes when you accept yourself as you are. This doesn't mean you stop striving for growth or improvement. It simply means you understand that you don't have to be perfect to be worthy of love and respect. Self-love also involves taking care of yourself, physically, mentally, and emotionally. It's easy to get caught up in the demands of daily life, constantly focusing on others or the tasks at hand. But self-love requires you to take time for yourself. This could mean setting aside time for rest, practicing self-care rituals, or engaging in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. It could also involve taking care of your body by eating well, exercising, and getting enough sleep. The act of nurturing yourself sends a message to your mind and body that you are valuable and deserving of care. When you prioritize your well-being, you show yourself the same compassion you would show a loved one in need. Setting boundaries is another key aspect of self-love. Many people struggle with saying no, especially when they feel guilty or obligated to please others. However, setting boundaries is an essential form of self-respect. When you love yourself, you recognize that your time, energy, and emotional resources are valuable. You don't allow others to drain you, overstep your limits, or violate your personal space. Setting healthy boundaries helps you protect your peace and ensures that your relationships are balanced and respectful. A major part of self-love is the ability to forgive yourself. Many people carry around guilt. Forgiveness doesn't mean excusing harmful behavior, but it means letting go of the burden of self-blame. Self-love is also about taking responsibility for your own happiness. It means recognizing that your happiness isn't dependent on someone else's actions or circumstances. While external factors like relationships, jobs, or achievements can contribute to happiness, it is ultimately your responsibility to cultivate it from within. This doesn't mean that life will always be perfect, but it does mean that you have the power to choose how you respond to challenges. When you love yourself, you take ownership of your emotions and actions, and you don't rely on others to fill a void that only you can fill. Practicing self-love is also an act of resilience. Life will present obstacles, setbacks, and moments of uncertainty. But when you love yourself, you are better equipped to face them. You trust in your ability to handle adversity, and you know that even in tough times, you are worthy of respect and care. Self-love gives you the strength to keep going when things get difficult. It reminds you that setbacks are temporary and that you are capable of overcoming them. With self-love, you can navigate life's challenges with grace and confidence, knowing that you are enough, regardless of the outcome. When you love yourself, you also attract healthier relationships into your life. The way you treat yourself sets the tone for how others treat you. If you don't value yourself, others are less likely to value you. But when you radiate self-love, you send a clear message to the world that you deserve respect, kindness, and love. You begin to attract people who appreciate you for who you truly are, not for what you can do for them or how you can meet their needs. Your relationships become more authentic, balanced, and supportive because you've set the foundation with yourself. Self-love is not a one-time act, but a continuous practice. It's something you choose every day through the thoughts you think, the actions you take, and the boundaries you set. It's a lifelong commitment to yourself. When you love yourself, you unlock the full potential of who you are and live from a place of abundance, not scarcity. You realize that you are worthy just as you are of all the good things life has to offer. Trusting in the future can be one of the most powerful and transformative things you can do for your mental and emotional well-being. It requires a deep sense of belief in the potential for positive outcomes, even when the present feels uncertain or challenging. Trusting in the future isn't about blind optimism or ignoring the challenges of today. It's about having faith that, with time, the obstacles you face now will lead to growth, learning, and ultimately to a place of fulfillment and peace. It's about understanding that life is a journey with ups and downs, and that every experience, good or bad, contributes to shaping the person you are becoming. The future is an unknown, and it's natural to feel anxious about what lies ahead. We often want to control every detail of our lives, to have a clear plan and a roadmap that guarantees success and happiness. However, the reality is that life rarely follows a predictable path. There will always be unexpected twists and turns, moments of uncertainty, and times when things don't go as planned. Trusting in the future means accepting that you cannot control everything, but you can trust that with each experience, you are becoming stronger, wiser, and more resilient. One of the most important aspects of trusting in the future is embracing uncertainty. Our instinct is often to fear the unknown, to shy away from situations that don't have a clear outcome. We worry about making mistakes, about failing, or about not being able to handle what comes our way. But the truth is, it's in the uncertainty where growth happens. It's in the moments of not knowing what's next that you learn to trust yourself and your ability to adapt. When you embrace uncertainty, you open yourself to new possibilities, new experiences, and new opportunities that you might never have considered if you had tried to control everything. By trusting the future, you give yourself permission to take risks, to step into the unknown, and to believe that no matter what happens, you will be able to handle it. Trusting in the future also means letting go of regret and fear of the past. It's about understanding that the future holds infinite possibilities and that your past does not define your future. Every new day is an opportunity to start fresh, to make new choices, and to move closer to the life you want to create. Trusting in the future also requires a mindset of patience. In our fast-paced world, we often expect immediate results. We want things to happen quickly, and when they don't, we can become discouraged or impatient. However, the future unfolds in its own time. Some things take longer to manifest than we expect, and sometimes the road to our goals is not a straight path. Trusting in the future means believing that everything will happen in its own time, and that the waiting period is just as important as the destination. It's during the waiting that you learn the most about yourself, your strengths, and your resilience. Patience allows you to appreciate the journey and trust that, in time, the efforts you put in today will yield results in the future. Another aspect of trusting the future is having a sense of hope. Hope is the belief that things can and will get better, even when the present seems difficult or overwhelming. It's the belief that the challenges you face now are temporary and that better days are ahead. Hope is not about ignoring the struggles of today. It's about having the confidence that the future holds more promise. When you have hope, you are able to persevere through tough times, knowing that they are just part of the larger story of your life. Trusting in the future means believing that better things are coming and that the efforts you are putting in now are not in vain. Trusting in the future also involves taking action in the present. While trust in the future is important, it's not about sitting back and waiting for things to happen. Trusting in the future means taking proactive steps today to move toward your goals, even if you don't know exactly how things will unfold. It means setting intentions, making decisions, and doing the work required to build the future you want. Trusting in the future is an active process. It's about having faith in the direction you are heading while also taking responsibility for the actions you need to take in the present to get there. It's about trusting that the work you do today will lay the foundation for the success and fulfillment you seek in the future. At the heart of trusting in the future is believing in yourself. It's trusting that you have the strength, resilience, and wisdom to navigate whatever challenges come your way. It's about having faith that you are capable of handling whatever life throws at you and that you will emerge stronger on the other side. When you trust in yourself, you are better equipped to handle uncertainty, to face challenges head on, and to make decisions that align with your true purpose and desires. Self-trust allows you to move forward with confidence, knowing that no matter what happens, you have the ability to adapt and thrive. Ultimately, trusting in the future is about surrendering control and allowing life to unfold as it's meant to. It's about believing that, no matter what happens, the future holds something beautiful and meaningful for you. When you trust in the future, you release the need for certainty and embrace the unknown with open arms. You give yourself permission to hope, to take risks, and to grow into the person you are meant to be. Trusting the future means accepting that while you may not have all the answers now, everything you are doing today is part of a larger, beautiful journey